Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about, is standing out a good thing, or is it good to stand out or even fit in? So I'm going to be touching base on both of those particular questions simply because, as always, I like to cover questions that a lot of prospects will come to me with, because I think if they're asking it, you guys are most definitely wanting to know the answers to it as well. So before you get stuck in, as always, please make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because I love seeing the views. However, I want to see that next step further by increasing these subs as well. So please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with all other like-minded individuals as well. And specifically as entrepreneurs, as people wanting to stand out within their brands, more specifically stand out and show up with the brands and the services and the products that you guys actually have in a way that's actually congruent to your beliefs and your values. Please make sure that you stick around to the very end, because as always, I've got some super key principles that I want to make sure that you guys are actually being clued up on, so you can continuously elevate within what it is that you're doing, and more specifically, do it in a way that doesn't allow you to lose yourself in the process. So folks, without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So as I said, we're going to be talking about, is standing out a good thing, or is it even better to stand out, or is it better to fit in? So I want to make sure I cover these questions, because a lot of people will come to me asking me, saying, Tan, do you know what? I think I'm cool with I'm cool with fitting in. You know, it's cool for me to just be like the same as everybody else. And if that's your same ethos too, if that's your same belief, then fine, cool. All down to you. However, if you're the type of person who's been sick and tired of losing out to your competition, or if even your audience member, or if somebody that you really, really wanted to work with, you then later found out that they went and worked with the average Joe down the road who kind of does literally an average job, but you know that you do it way better than them, well, this is how you start knowing why it's important for you to stand out. Because it'll be the difference between you continuously staying quiet and showing up occasionally, but in a way that doesn't actually make sense to you, but you know you're doing it anyway, and you're hitting and hoping and throwing the world at a wall, hoping, fingers crossed, that something will stick. And to an extent, yes, entrepreneurship is all about seeing what can stick at a wall. However, imagine throwing things at a wall that now makes sense to you. Not only that, makes sense to your audience. If you start putting out information, if you start creating a level of value that your audience starts getting and starts understanding, they're going to hear you more. They're going to want to pay attention more. And more specifically, they're going to want to be around you more, because you've got the goods, in the sense where you've got the value, you've got the information, you've got the know-how to be able to take them from one step to the next. And not only just do it one time, but do it multiple times. And in a way that's continuous. You've now got the way, by way of understanding how you stand out, you've got the way of understanding how to do it properly. That suits you, that suits your brand, that suits what it is that you do and the real reason for why you're doing what you're doing. And essentially, folks, when you understand that, you understand how to make them build those better connections, so that the person that you were wanting to talk to and work with specifically will come straight to you, as opposed to bypassing anybody else. So that's why it's important to stand out. That's why it's important to stand out versus fitting in. And that's why it's also important to be able to help others to understand the way that you can really help them, and the why you really, really help them. Because 9 times out of 10, folks, especially as a business owner, you've gone through the pains, the problems, and the issues that your audience is actually going through right now. You've been through that, so now help them to go through it and help them to come out of it even more so. Showcase that there is a way forward. And know, by the way, folks, yes, you are a way forward. You are an example of how it can happen. And no, it's not for everybody. However, you're still that example that there is a way forward and that there is a possibility. And so help your audience to understand and see that. So, is it better to stand out or fit in? Or is standing out a good thing? It most definitely is a good thing. Now, where it becomes bad, this is where it can become bad. It can become bad when you're doing it in a way that's, I guess, boastful, or in a way that going against your beliefs and your values, or in a way that's going against what the general ethos of whatever it is that you're attaching yourself to is. Prime example, I put out a video with regards to how branding can be bad or can be negative, can have a negative impact. It can only be negative when you're latching or even attaching yourself to a topical issue that actually has a far greater meaning than what you're actually giving it. For example, the examples that I gave was talking about a flash sale that was happening in a specific brand. Now, this specific brand chose to put it on Twitter when it was called Twitter at the time, saying, hey, even this stampede of people is rushing towards the flash sale. Now, that stampede of people were actually protesters who were actually being mobbed by the authorities, and actually some people actually died in that protest, and equally some people were running for their lives in that protest. So don't ever do that, folks. That's when standing out can be bad. That's when standing out for the wrong things can be bad. But when you're standing up for the right, when you're standing up for the things that matter, when you're standing up for the things that are congruent to your brand, then yeah, you stand up and you show up in a way, as I said, that's congruent to what it is that you believe in. So folks, I'm going to leave it there. Hope that resonated with you, and hope that gave clarity for you with regards to, is standing out a good thing, or is it even better to stand out or fit in? Don't fit in, stand out. You're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You weren't designed to fit in, so don't. That being said, folks, in order to help you to understand how you can actually stand out in a way that's congruent to your beliefs, tap into these principles. Now, these principles, they're going to kickstart you off with understanding what your values, what your vision, what your purpose is. From that, you're then going to go and understand a hell of a lot more about your brand, and more specifically, how you can start elevating or even catapulting your way forwards in a way that actually makes sense to you and your business, and or even as a personal brand. It helps you to get it. It helps you to understand and know what topics to talk about, understand and know what levels of authority figures that you actually want to get connected with it. And it really helps you to understand how you can start building better and amazing connections moving forwards. So folks, tap into that. Please make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel as always. And as always, I will see you on the other side.